Hi, Miss Tribe. If you have an overripe plantain and you're thinking of throwing it away, please don't do that. Just come closer. Let me show you how to make this plantain and maize pudding, or what we call Apiti, or better still, we can call it plantain and maize moi-moi. So basically what you need is your corn and your plantain. Make sure the plantain is really ripe, okay? So you're going to soak the corn for 1 day and then you blend it. Some people decide to use corn flour, but I think this process I'm showing you is the best. When you're done blending your corn, make sure it's blended to a very smooth paste. You're also going to peel off your plantain and also blend your plantain and the corn or maize together. Can you see how ripe this plantain is? You really need overripe plantain for this particular recipe. That is what gives you the feel and the taste I am looking for. Remember, it is called Apiti. That is the local name we know in the south part of Nigeria, okay? So when we are done blending our corn and plantain together, you're going to mix that thoroughly with your spatula, and then I'm waiting with just seasoning and salt. Make sure you check the quantity you're putting. So you mix that very well, and then you go in with your roughly blended crayfish and pepper. In there, I'd already blended my crayfish and my scotch bonnet pepper. So I'm going to introduce that into my mixture and mix it properly. I really have to make sure everything is thoroughly combined. And this mixture, we don't want it to be too light. Neither do we want it to be too thick either. So I'm also going to be using palm oil, bleached palm oil. Be sure to bleach your palm oil. So I've bleached my palm oil. So I'm going to add it inside my mixture and give that a thorough mix until everything is thoroughly combined. I'm also going to be using dried fish. You can decide to use egg. You can decide to use meat. You can decide to use chicken. Just play around with any protein of your choice, okay? So when I've mixed my palm oil in there, I make sure everything is thoroughly combined. So I'll be using this leaf to cook. You can decide to use any plate you want. You can decide to use your pan. But I just believe that when making bean or corn puddings, this leaf gives it an extra flavor. I don't know, I'm a proper African woman, and this is what I think. When you make your beans or corn or plantain pudding, I just believe this leaf gives it an extra flavor and a very distinctive taste. Yeah, that's I'm an African woman. That's what I believe. So I made sure I wrapped in properly to make sure I avoid any spillage when cooking. Although my wrapping might not be perfect, but then, yeah, it's cool. There was no spillage. So make sure you wrap it very well to avoid any spillage at all. If you're using your plate, fine. You can go ahead to use your plate. If you're using your pouch, you can go ahead to use whatever you want to use. And then I'm done wrapping this. Can you see that, you guys? So in the pot, I added water. I allowed that to boil very well. Then I also went in with these leaves also, okay? Because I'm not using a steamer, I don't have a steamer. If you have a steamer, that's the best thing for you to use. So I placed those leaves and then I placed my wrapped puddings, okay? So when I placed that in, I also covered with a leaf again because I want it to be properly cooked with a steam. I don't want to cook for long. The steam can just do this, okay? So after 20 minutes, you guys, it doesn't take long. This is what I have. This tasted so nice. This is really nutritious. So let me know. Hope you are not gonna be throwing away your overripe plantain again.